Welcome back to Unperfect with Alexi. This is the perfect place for imperfect people. And today I am giving you some high thoughts. I know. I quit for a little bit and then I went to Arizona and then I've had a really hard week emotionally. I'm about to start my period. So I thought me and Mary Jane could hang out before Aunt Flo gets here. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you guys, I have not been here for a week or so because last week I took it off. That was hard. My husband was out of town, but my mom was here helping me, so that was amazing. But right before that, we were at the Waste Management Open with a group of 3 other couple friends of ours, so there was 8 of us total. And the whole point of this trip was to have it be like kid-free, fun, party, go out, and go to the Waste Management Open. So the Waste Management Open was the pinnacle of our trip. Like, it was the shining, bright light star. And then guess what happened? We went on Saturday, the day that 300,000 more people than were supposed to be there got in. They shut down all alcohol, all food sales. And we were like, okay, this already kind of sucks, even if they didn't shut any of that down, because the lines to get in to the bathroom were an hour to an hour and a half long. We stood in a herd of people while the pros stopped and walked through to their next shot. Herds of people. My claustrophobia anxiety is unlocked. Walking in there, I was so overstimulated. It was scary. My mind was literally anything could happen right now. And honestly, guys, this is why I don't watch the news anymore, is because I don't want to even know what horrible things are out there anymore. Okay. I just don't. There's too much of it. I don't think humans are supposed to understand that much pain and devastation and travesty. And how lucky am I and are we that we are not living in that right now? It fucking sucks. Are you, there I go, cursing. It sucks. My anxiety was absolutely raging through the ceiling. It was horrible. We probably spent a total of 3 hours from the time that we parked, got on the shuttle to get into Waste Management, and then walked a mile to get in, and then stood in herds and herds of people, and then finally found a spot where you could at least watch people slip in the mud, because all the golf spots, all the golf shots, those were taken. And they were just finishing up a round. It was not a fun experience. Then our friends got lost, and there was no service in the damn open because there were so many people. The towers were overwhelmed. So if we lost a friend, we couldn't even get in touch with them, nor get to them for an hour because there was just so many people. It was a living nightmare. So do not recommend that, but if a brand wants to send me next year to Waste Management and I can sit in one of your suites or something, that would be way cooler. Other than that, my husband just got home from a hunting trip in Hawaii. He went to get an axis deer. I love game meat. I don't care what anybody says. I think that it is the most clean, natural form of meat. Our primal ancestors, what did they eat? They ate game meat. Let's be real. I also am doing a 7-day gut reset. I'm really getting into primal eating and paleo eating and eating things that are more natural, because I, first of all, just don't trust what's in our stores right now. If you don't read labels on your foods, can you please just start, because you are going to save yourself a world of hurt later in life. I mean, do you realize that the standard American diet, the acronym for that term is SAD? No wonder people are so depressed and sad and anxious. It's the fucking food and the shit we're putting in our bodies. There I go again. The freaking food and the crap that we put in our bodies. Just in general, I've been feeling like I want to eat healthier and kickstart what I had started back in November 2022 when I started my acne journey, when I got my following originally, and was trying to do it really holistically. And for the most part, I still am, but I've really fallen off because of how well Face Reality works. Guys, again, I'm not even working with Face Reality at this point in time. I am under no contractual agreement to talk about them, but they really work so well for my skin. And got lazy in my gut healing. And it was kind of hard because I didn't have that marker as much anymore to tell me whether I was doing good or bad, because acne is a symptom, right? And so I got lazy. And over the summer, I gained 20 pounds. And I had worked so hard and kept it off for so long and really changed my lifestyle. That kind of sucked. And it was a realization of what are you waiting for? Why are you still delaying the inevitable? If I were to picture my future self, 20, 30, 40, 50, end game, what do I want to look like right before I'm about to pass on and be with Jesus. And I'm like, I want to be an active old lady who like does pickleball and like moves around and is walking and talking and playing tennis and is just like super active. Like I would love to be extremely active, but in my current lifestyle, I'm not as active as I would like to be. I will give myself a shit ton of credit though, because this last year, I think I was more active than any other time in my life. And that was because I was more confident at any time in my life. And that was because I changed my lifestyle and the food choices. It really all adds up. Like everything you put on or in your body matters, and it will affect your mental health and your physical health and your wellness and your well-being. Everything that we consume affects us. Whether it's stored in our brain, whether it's stored in our gut, whether it's stored in our muscles, like everything that we experience as a human, I think that's why they call it the human experience, tells a story about our past. And what do I want my past to look like? I want it to be good. I want it to be healthy habits. I want to be able to get to my deathbed, whatever that may be. Honestly, I hope I pray that I die in my sleep. Like that would be my ideal way to go. Death freaks me out a little bit. I trust in God and I know that God's always with me, but it's still like, I want to stay here for my babies. Like that's been a very real anxiety of mine lately. Wow, we are just going into all my anxiety. Hi. I didn't even have to explain to you that this podcast was going to be titled The Messy Middle, because I just jumped in to the messy middle and like all the different changes that are happening in my life. This is my natural hair. I have no makeup on. I'm recording this post going to the gym. That's something else I started. I started going to the gym. You know why? Because I was sick of complaining and feeling bad about myself. I was sick of looking in the mirror and stepping on the scale and being like, it's not where I want it to be. And then the other side of my brain's like, well, yeah, girl, because guess what? You haven't literally done anything that you want to do. You want to be this active old lady, but you haven't even done anything to start becoming her. Like, I feel like in general, we just feel like we have infinite time in the world. We could treat ourselves bad. We can eat whatever we want. We could do whatever we want. We could treat others bad around us because we'll see them again. And the reality is that's not the truth. At any moment, your loved ones or your life could be taken from you. You know what I'm saying? Like the moment is now. Like seize the day. You know? Like let's start creating healthy habits and greater lifestyles now. So that's why I got a gym membership. Planet Fitness, actually, I really had like a hate. I don't know why I did not like them because I had never been there before, but it's the cheapest in my area with the most amenities. So I was like, fine. Shout out to Planet Fitness. Your facilities are actually pretty awesome. What was that? You guys got to watch this on video because you might be able to tell my eyes are a little red. With the pot thing, I have not been actively engaging in it for the last 2 months. Like I took a good month off and then I did it like once or so a week. But then ever since I got back from Arizona on the trip where I did not drink, I thought about it. I was questioning it. I was literally smelling the tequila bottles, but I didn't do it. Started to realize I think I have an addictive personality because when I do something that I really like, I get like addicted to it. So that's also why I'm trying to change my habits to be more addicted to health. Like I want to be addicted to the gym. Is that such a problem? I want to be able to say I'm a Friday night gym rat because I don't go out. But, you know, the allure of bar hopping every weekend or just going to a different bar and just sitting there and wasting money and time, and it's not productive at all. It's actually like counterproductive to your health. It just does not sound appealing to me anymore. Not to say I'll never go out and meet my friends for a drink. I'll get the NA one. But my life, I've only gained from dropping alcohol. Like, okay, this is what I really wanted to come on here and talk about today. Hi, this is a High Thoughts podcast. You guys are really getting just a word vomit brain dump. You're welcome. When I dropped alcohol, I kid you not, my life completely changed. Ever since I dropped alcohol, here's all the things that I've picked up instead. Number one, I picked up Jesus. Like I started reading my Bible, actually, and getting closer in my relationship with God. Like I've always known and felt that God is real just through things in my life, like divine intervention, anxiety being gone in certain areas. Like just when you can feel the Holy Spirit, like, you know, he's real. But I never really took the time to read the Bible or understand the verses. And it always made me feel like an imposter believer because I didn't read the Bible all the time and I didn't really have a church that I wanted to go to, but I knew that God is real, you know? So I just didn't have any roots in my faith, which now I am planting those seeds and it feels really good and it's exciting. I feel like I have a better relationship with God now, and I read the word, and we pray with our kids at night just for their protection and safety, because anxiety is something that I've been feeling like in general, but I'm starting to realize it's because I don't feel like I have control. And this is a therapy moment. That's another thing I've gained. Therapy. I started going to EMDR therapy, where you do this little number. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see what I'm talking about. Moving your eyes back and forth, left and right. Watching this little ball or a finger while you think about a traumatic memory. It's been very helpful. Like, and when I say helpful, it's been insightful. Like, it helps my brain understand that the trauma is not happening right now. Like, I don't have to step into fight or flight or freeze or fawn. Like, it was just something that had happened. So that's been really cool. And it's been really eye-opening. And that's the thing about EMDR that I found the most shocking, is that by doing this type of modality, like, your self-awareness opens up so much. And I've started to realize my control issues, and they've come up a lot with like my parenting and around the house and how I want things to be. And I realized that I'm like OCD. I don't know. I feel like I have all these levels of me unlocking. And I feel like this is what the shit people don't talk about, is like that messy middle. Like, when you're up leveling into your next version of yourself. Like, I'm going to be 28 this year, be 30 in just a couple years. Like, I know that I'm not going to stay the same 20-year-old something self forever. And it's kind of scary, but it's also exciting. Like, what's this next chapter going to bring? Like, what kind of wisdom am I going to have? This is going to be really cool. Like, I'm excited for it. Not that I want time to speed up. Like, I'm trying to enjoy the moment and stay optimistic and positive about the future, so that way I don't get stuck in the past anxieties and things that I can't change. But then sometimes I find myself worrying about the future. Like, God forbid, what if something happens to my husband or my kids? And then on the other side, I know that I'll be okay. I know that God's got me. Okay, wow. Deep thoughts. Okay, so I picked up the Jesus. I picked up the Jesus. I picked up therapy. I also picked up the gym, and I've been loving it. And just the feeling of like lifting weights and burning muscle and being out in a public space and doing it, there's some type of motivation that you can't get just working out in the garage at home. And that was my problem. Like, I had all the intentions of working out at home and doing everything at home. But you guys, if you are like me and you work from home and you are at your house 80 to 90% of the time, I don't need to be working out in my house too. I need to get out of my house and work out. I need to create some level of separation, because otherwise I'm just going to be at home all the time. My cabin fever will pick up. But the last thing that I picked up cutting out alcohol is being more mindful in general about myself and how I am and the thoughts I think and the foods I eat and the people I surround myself with and what we like to do for fun and what our connection is actually based on. Very interesting to see. Like, I feel like since I dropped alcohol, I opened up a whole new level of self-awareness. And that in itself is a little bit scary, because it's like information overload. Like, I don't know what to do with this information, because you learn the information, right? You have the awareness, but then you have to implement the change. But in order to implement permanently, you have to keep practicing over and over and over and over again, which is why change is hard, because we're so comfy in our ways and our brain tries to keep us comfortable. I really do feel like I'm in that messy middle right now, guys, like where I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I'm not scared about it. I do have worries about bad things happening, like we all do, but I'm trying to get closer to God and, you know, have him just take all of that anxiety away from me, because I know that that's such a worldly thing. I am truly in 2024 trying to better myself mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. I'm trying to be super active. I'm talking the gym, ladies' night golf. I want to start playing pickleball and tennis, getting into my body more. I'm just sick of living in my head. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I wanted to touch on with the messy middle is when you start shedding versions of yourself, other people around you aren't necessarily going to just be excited for you, because they're grieving the loss of who you were. Change is hard for everybody, not just you. So remember that and give people grace when things change, but also know when it's time to let go. I think that's important too. Not everybody is meant to be in your life for forever. Some people are meant to be in your life for a season, and they get you through a season. And that's totally okay. Other times you have friends who you meet and you have instant soul connection and they're with you for life. And that's okay too. One thing that I've had to overcome from being a people pleaser is realizing that I don't have to be friends with literally every single person. I don't have to try to make every single person like me. Of course, human nature, I want people to like me, right? I don't want to have haters. Who voluntarily is like, I would love to have a hater, you know? Like, I guess if you're really attention deprived, which, you know, sometimes I do wish when my engagement's low that someone would leave a hate comment. So then I could respond to it and it would drive my engagement. Response videos to hate comments usually do pretty well. Anyway, people aren't going to know what to do with you when you're changing and when you're evolving and when you're growing. But the real people who are going to be there for you for the rest of your life, those are going to be the people that cheer you on and celebrate you and grow with you. If you outgrow somebody and you've up-leveled, but you don't tie off your loose ends, those people are going to start feeling like baggage. Those things are going to start feeling like baggage. It's going to feel like a heavy weight that's on you, and you're not going to be able to understand or describe what it is, but you've up-leveled, but the things in your life and around you have not. The things, the people, the activities, the lifestyle that you surround yourself with is not going to line up to where you're at or where you're going. So you got to cut ties accordingly. And I don't mean sever ties. Nobody said you got to burn a bridge, Mary. That just means spending more time with people who are in line with what you're doing and where you're going. Got to be honest with you guys. One thing that I hate about this culture is that it's so black and white. Like, you either support this or you don't like this, or you either hang out with this person or you don't hang out with them. You either love them or you hate them. Like, humans are so fluid in general, and we run a lot off of our emotions, and our emotions can be up here and down here and up here and down there, and then straight and flat and up and down. We got to be logical about things. Like, you got to keep your connections and grow them and nurture people, and just because you're not on the same level as someone anymore doesn't mean you got to burn that bridge. You know what I'm saying? Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. I'm just kidding. I really hate that. Like, I don't want to hang out with an enemy of mine at all, ever. Like, I bid you well, ogre. Can you tell my kids have been watching Shrek all the time? But honestly, like, I have so much going on in my life that I don't have time to have enemies. I don't understand how there's people who run around in life and just constantly have beef. Like, it sounds exhausting. Like, even talking about it, thinking about it, like, puts a heavy weight feeling on my chest. And I don't like that at all. Okay, like, I have my deep close friends, like my inner homies, my circle, and then I have my outer circle of friends, acquaintances, people that I see on special occasions, people that I went to high school with or knew in my past. Like, you don't gotta have beef with everyone you don't talk to right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's life is so different. We're all going through different things. I know this was kind of a ramble episode. It was high thoughts after all, but I do want to remind you that the point of this episode is that if you are in the messy middle right now, like me, just embrace it. Get curious about it and get excited of what can happen, what's new, what's to come, change. Lean into change because it's happening regardless of if you want it to happen or not. Like, the years change, the seasons change, changes all around us. And we got to keep up because we get older and what we don't use, we lose. And I want to see us all live long, healthy, happy lives where we can grow old together with our families and our kids. That's the prayer I literally do every night. I'm like, God, keep us all healthy so we can all grow old together. Like, that is my one wish in life. Just know that seasons change. We change as humans. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to outgrow friendships. It's okay to outgrow lifestyles. It's okay to level up. It's okay to want better for yourself. It's okay to have a different version of yourself. You do not have to stay the same. The world is evolving. Humans are evolving. Nothing and nobody stays the same. Change is inevitable. Lean in. Get curious. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Take notes, learn, dance in the rain. Like, go back to that childlike state of when you first were learning everything. Truly, if I'm being so real with you right now, I don't think that you or I are ever going to get to a place where we know everything. It's humanly impossible. Like, I know nothing about physics and I don't want to know anything about them. Okay? So we can't always be right all the time because we don't know everything. It's okay to say, I don't know, or this season sucks, or it's hard, or just cry. Like, I cried 3 times today. But just know you are loved and you are worthy in this season, in the next season, in your previous seasons. Like, you're a human being. This is unperfect. Our life is unperfect. Nobody has a playbook on how to live life. the right way, because there is none. There is no correct playbook. Like, even the Bible is so up for interpretation because it was written in a different time. The Bible doesn't talk about smartphones. So it's okay to not know. It's okay to seek to learn and to grow and to change and evolve and try a new sport, make a new friend, do something different with your life, challenge the status quo, make a new vision board. I was just looking at mine right here. I did this at Good Times Camp with my dear friend Alicia Kumar. You know what? This is going to be what I'm going to show you guys for the end of this podcast episode to close this off. This is my 2024 vision board. This will be a good part for you guys to watch. I'd hop over to YouTube to watch this part so you can get the visual, but if not, I'll try to explain it as best I can. In the upper left-hand corner of my vision board, there is a podcast microphone, there's a computer, and there's two quotes. One that says, keep on being you, use your voice. And then there's a little book that said, the strength is in our scars. And what that really signified to me is to talk about the shit that's real and the shit that hurts and the shit that makes us human. Like, that's what this podcast is about. It's being unperfect. It's challenging the expectation that we have to have our shit together and have it all together, and celebrating and normalizing the fact that nobody knows what the fuck they are doing. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. It's not just you. It's not just me. And we can all come together in that and celebrate the fact that we're all just hypocrites trying to survive. I always say that because it is so true. Like, at the end of the day, nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody has a playbook. Nobody has the handbook. Nobody can do life perfectly. So I was inspired to just continuing to use my voice to talk about my scars in hopes that this will help even one person feel more normal in their skin, feel more normal in their anxiety, feel more normal in their thought process, feel more normal in showing up, just feel more normal in some way. But also, what is normal anyway? You know, like, normal is a societal construct. Stay weird. Not you, Portland. In the top right-hand side of my vision board, I have more artsy type stuff because this year I would love, love, love to get into more art and be more creative and use that part of my brain. And I saw this little quote that said, create like an artist, solve like an engineer, act like an entrepreneur. I'm like, that is me. And directly under that, you will see a variety of different health and wellness type things. There's a sauna, there's me doing yoga, my dream abs are on there. I would like to ski once this year and get a sauna at my house and become more flexible and lift weights. And that's cool because I put this on my vision board just last month and I've already got a gym membership and lifted weights like that. So checkmate. And I painted with my kids last week. Checkmate. I'm recording a podcast right now. Checkmate. Right smack dab middle on the board, there's a quote that says, small steps are still progress. I trust my intuition. You will do amazing things in this life. Those were 3 different quotes, by the way. But I just wanted to remind myself that everything doesn't have to happen overnight. Progress and momentum will build and it will take me places. I don't have to get discouraged because I'm not where I want to be right now. I know it'll happen. It's just a matter of when. I just want to slow down and enjoy the process of getting there and really bring my family into it with me because they mean everything to me. They're the most important to me. Right under that, there's a quote that says, sleep more because I would like to sleep more. I want to enjoy today, enjoy life. Read more of my Bible, go take pictures in a lavender farm, redo my bathroom, get ready a little bit more. Not today, though. Maybe next week. You guys, thank you so much for joining me on Unperfect with Alexi. This episode, I feel like, was so needed. Like, I just needed a vent session with you guys because I feel like I've really been trying to present myself online as, like, I have my shit together and, like, things are coming together. But behind the scenes, I've just felt really, like, just anxious. And I'm really in that messy middle right now that people don't really talk about. So I decided I would fill that gap. Guys, I love you so much. I just appreciate you guys so much for coming back week after week, listening to the podcast, hanging out with me, letting me just freeball my thoughts. This is the point of the podcast where I remind you, please leave a 5-star review, whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple. If you're on Apple, can you leave a review with some words? Because I absolutely love reading those. It's my favorite thing in the entire world. And subscribe on YouTube if you don't already. I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel also. I think I'm going to start posting more homesteady type content because we're kind of doing that these days. But I'm going to tell you guys my goals this year for the social media front and what I'm doing here and showing up. Number 1, I want to grow this podcast huge. That's why you guys leaving a review on this podcast, sharing with your friends, tagging me in your stories. I love that so much. When you guys take a screenshot of this and show me that you're listening and then tag in the stories, that is my favorite thing in the entire world, because it's like a referral to a friend. And I would like to get picked up like by a platform like Spotify. How cool would that be? To have a hosted podcast by Spotify? Like, are you kidding me? That would be amazing, balls. Here's the footage we're going to look back on. I'm going to be like, wouldn't it be cool to have a podcast on Spotify? And then I'll like take this little clip and then put it when I do get signed by Spotify. You just watch. I want to get to 1,000 reviews on both Spotify and Apple. So if you guys could please leave that review, that would be amazing. And then on YouTube, I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, because then we can talk monetization. I'm just being honest. But until I hear from you, I love you guys. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.